Okay, I think I got the volume unmuted. Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us today for our presentation on pipes. We're going to focus on pipe planner today. My name is Tony Crick. I'm the Civil Product Manager here at CTC. And let's get started. So Pipe Planner, what is it? It's one of the SIM project tools. It's intended for the everyday Civil 3D user creating design production drawings. It will work in the last 4 versions back to 2019. As many of you are aware, Autodesk just came out with version 2024. So we will be updating in the very near future, and 2019 will no longer be supported by our tools. So keep that in mind. Hopefully you're moving on. Today I'm going to be presenting in 2023. So Pipe Planner. It's part of our pipes module. There you can see here. It pulls out of here. We have 2 different functions for it. We've got the import, export, and a spreadsheet. We're going to touch on both of those today. So what does it do? We can view our drawing pipe networks right in the drawing, edit them right in the drawing. We can pick out the parts we want to do. We can do all or none. Of course, we want to do some. We can pick which properties we want to edit to. It's all in one place, more organized. And when we make our edits, they'll be applied directly to the drawing. So what else can we do with it? Well, we can save templates with defined properties for things that we use most often. And we can export to external spreadsheets for editing. A lot of times people like to edit in Excel for ease, and we can then bring that back in to our drawing after we make the edits and update the drawing that way. So with that, let's jump into Civil 3D and take a look at this. Okay, so here we have a little sample, sort of a typical kind of layout here with a corridor and some pipes going through here. We've got a storm and a sanitary. I should note that if you watched any of our previous demos, all these labels were generated using Label Genie, another of our popular and powerful tools. So let's talk about how you would edit these natively if you needed to change things. So we've gone through and we've laid out our pipe design, but things change. So how do you do it natively? Well, we can come in here and we can open up our pipe networks. We can come here. We're going to focus on the storm today, so I'll open the storm. And we can pick these and we can thumb our way through this clumsy, kind of not very efficient interface right here that isn't the best. Or we can open it up and we can come through here too. Trouble is, we can only do these one at a time. And everything in here is available in our pipe planner pull down. So none of our products, nothing we do here is proprietary. Everything draws from Civil 3D. So it writes back to Civil 3D as well as uses any styles, anything that you've created in Civil 3D. So anything in here we can do. The rules will be applied that we can use those in a different pipe application, Pipe Designer, another one of our powerful tools, and popular. So let's open up Pipe Designer and see what it's all about here. So first I'm going to open up the edit and export pipe. So here's a basic interface right here. Oh, I should also note that, let me cancel out of this, that where it is on the toolbar out of the box is here. It doesn't have to be. You can move it wherever you want to. So let's open that back up. Oh, I should also note that if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in. And if I can get to them during the presentation, I will. Otherwise, we'll have a short Q&A after. Okay, so here's the interface right here. Up here we have our options tab. We can do things. Here's where we're setting our path for where our templates are. Okay, so if you want to set those to a network location for templates that you use, however you want to use it. Here we have precisioning for what the table is going to look like. If I set this to, I'm going to set it to drawing precision right now because I have mine set to wide open so you can see the difference. We can do some different things too. How do we want to calculate our stuff? Is it coming from the invert, top, crown, bottom? We're going to leave it at invert today. And we have other settings in here for range type. Today it's going to be fixed. If you wanted to do a custom, you could start editing things down here. We'll leave it at fixed today. And if we have catchments, this is where you want to set that kind of stuff. I don't have any catchments in this drawing. We'll cover that in another webinar. So what else do we have here? Here's where we get our templates from. I have a couple templates pre-saved in there. Load them, save them. Here's where you set where your Excel files go. And there's a little trick to this one too. I should say that when you go to get one or open one, you have to first create it. So you have to come in here and you have to first hit this and you have to say new, and then you have to come and select right here and give it a name and then tell it to open. I'm going to leave that empty right now. So what do we have? This is going to pick out every network part, same as from the tool space that you have in your drawing, right in your drawing. So we have a storm and a sanitary network. It's all populated over here. You can see which it is pertaining to right here. So we're going to focus on the storm today. So I'm just going to select only the storm. Okay, so over here we have our properties, what we want to be able to look at and or edit. And you can close all these or open all these so you can pick through them so it doesn't become quite as cumbersome. If it doesn't apply to what you have, it won't show up over here. And the edit fields are in the white, editable, and the grayed are non-editable. So let's load a couple of things up here. We're going to be focusing just on, for simplicity, just this little run right here from 101 to 103. And this has been designed from downstream to upstream. So when this applies to the profiles too, let me cancel that real quick and let me pull up a split view so we can see how this works in both when we're doing it. So let me open this one up. So I just saved a little split view here that shows what we're focusing on right here, this run and this run. Let's go back to, oops, to pipe planner and pipe networks. So let's go ahead and let's load in. This is pipe 1, this is pipe 2. How do we know that? Well, I didn't show you, but that's what they are. So, I mean, we could look at them and ID, and we could have labeled it here too, but we didn't. So let's put those 2 pipes in. And you can do these, let me show you this. Let's do it by just the pipes here. So you have 2 different views here. You can view just the pipes, and you can view the structures, or you can view all, and I'll show you that here in a second. So if I pop those 2 over, so first thing you're getting is the handle. So that everything is controlled by the handle IDs right here. That's how it knows how to make updates to our parts. That's why these are not editable. So let's come over here and let's push the name over, and let's push the description over. So the description is coming from when you set this. Maybe I should show you that real quick. Let's just say okay right here, so I can show you where that's coming from before we get too much stuff populated and it becomes possibly a little slower. So right here in my pipe properties, okay, it's coming from here, description and name right here. Okay, and when we change that, it's going to change here too. So let's open that back up. Oops. Okay, so here's where we left off. So we pushed that over, and it remembers from when you close it, it knows what you had, which is kind of convenient. So if I go into my structures now, I'm not going to see anything because I didn't put anything over. And if I go to all, I'm only going to see the pipe, the 2 pipes that I've got in there. So let's go back to structures here, and let's send over 101 through 103. So the name and description held there for structures. So now if I come back in here, we can see everything. So we see the pipes, we see all that. And then we can come over here and we can start populating some of the columns that we want to see. Just about anything, well, anything that's associated with the pipes in the network is over here. So we can pick through, and once you do it, they leave the list. So if I were to come over here and say push the description back, and I can do it by saying remove, or I can hit the arrow over here to kick it back. So you see it's over there again to be populated. So let's push that back over. Let's see what else we want to put on here. So we want to put over probably the name, description, put in some behaviors. So we can do start, invert, elevation. We can do all of these. You know, I'm just going to push some of these over, and then I'm going to load a template real quick to show you how quickly, once you've saved a template, that you get the things that you need, so you don't have to go through this process over and over again. So let me close that up. Let me go ahead and load one. So I've got one right here. In the interest of time, I think you see where you can get this stuff from here. So I'm going to say load right there, and it's going to come across right away. So here's all the kind of typical things that on average that you would want to edit, probably. So I didn't get 103. I don't know why. Hang on, let me grab 103. Okay, let's go back to all. Okay, so now we can see, and we can double click on these to sort them too. Okay, however you want to do that. We can change things within these white fields. So let me pull over this one. I might have some more stuff. So now it kicked me to the structure tab. You can see right there. And I can change anything in here, like I said, that's in white. So let's just, for a quick example here, let's edit this sump. Let's make this a 0.1 sump on this one. And when I say enter right here, it's going to make that adjustment to it. So you're going to see this change down here. Let me say apply. So we didn't see a change. Let's try that again. Let me open that again. Whoops. Let's see if it changed here. I think it did. So it changed there. It should have updated there. I don't know why it didn't. Let me click in there. I hate that when that happens. Okay, well, let's come back out here. I expected that sump elevation to change. Let's try here, 7, 8, 2.9. Oops. Don't didn't. Okay, I'm missing something. Anyway, let's move on. For whatever reason, it didn't change, but it's kind of disappointing too. Did anything change there? I don't know. So let's come back here. Let me just change that back to 0. Let me try to kick that over once and see what happens. Okay, well, let's move on. So we can come in here too, and we can add all the parts in here and kick them all over too. So that's all the structures, all the pipes. I can come here too, and I can grab everything that's left. And push those over. Also, we can grab everything from over here too. and push all those headers over, but they're going to get pretty clumsy. So I'll just come down a couple here. Let's just go to open that one up. So let me just kick that bunch over. So you can see we've got a lot more stuff going on up here. Start station, end station. Let's get populated down here. Okay, we kick them, get them all out of there and start over. So let me load from the template again. So I lost my, because my template didn't include 103. Let's go back to here. So we got 103. Let me save that back. Make sure we get it. Do this basic all. Okay. Let me come back over here. Let's load another template and try that again. Okay, so we're back in the structures. We've got the pipes. I can load that as well. Okay, so that's what we're getting right there. Let's try this again and invert elevation for this one, because remember I said it's designed from downstream to upstream. So let me change that here. Let's change this. Let's change this to 0.5. And we'll change this one too to 0.5. We'll say apply. Hopefully that changes down there. There, we got it to change. Maybe that, I was looking at the wrong before, but you can see it changed the slope right here. I thought I had that included in here. Let's include that for there. This is why you save templates, because these things are kind of hard sometimes to find in here. If you don't remember where everything gets populated from. Let's try the part data again. Oh, it's in there somewhere. Because I can change it within there. Where is that? As long as I'm doing that, do you need to do a REA and VP? I don't understand that question. We'll talk about that afterwards. Okay, well, I'm not gonna mess with it anymore. We can see how this works here. So let me say okay here, and I'm gonna just undo to get back to where we were. Okay, I'll undo and it will go back to what it was. The REA in the viewport. I guess I'm not understanding that question. Okay, so you see it changed back right here. And let's see what else we want to do. So we did some sorting here. Well, now let's kick that out to an Excel spreadsheet. So we'll try changing that sump and bringing it back in that way. So let me come back here to all. Here's my sump depth is still at 0.1. Change that to 0. Okay, so let's, and I lost my, so don't do what I did. This is clicking between these templates, I think may have made me lose some things from where I was. So I got my links. Well, let's just put them back in. That was pretty easy. So what do we have here? Name 101. Well, here, we don't really like the way this is organized. So we've got name here. Pipe. No, I lost my pipes. I'm not sure what I did wrong here. It's not that complicated, folks. Trust me. Well, let's kick them back over. Okay, so the name is now kicked over here, but we can move that just like you can in Excel. It's all Excel based. Unfortunately, you can't drag it here, but you can move it as such. Let me do this. Push all these over. So you can do a multiple. 2. Go one more till they're all together, then I'll include this one and we'll kick them back over. Okay, let's write this out as all to to Excel spreadsheet. I don't think we want that one. I'm going to take that out of there. We've got all the data, I think, basic data. We want to get that over. So let's come here and let me do create a new one here. Like I said, you have to create it this way. So let's call it demo in today's date. So I open that and it's there. Now to do that, to create it, we've got this down here. So we can write, once we get one created, we can write to an existing. So I'm going to create a new sheet in this case because it's a new drawing. So I'm going to include the headers and we're going to put the structures and pipes in separate tabs. You don't have to do that. You can combine them, but I'm going to leave it separated right there. And this is all we're getting today. So yeah, it says it's already there. We had to create it first, so yes. And if we do it and we say yes again, it'll populate another tab down here with the date and time. So you don't necessarily have to overwrite it. If you're creating new, it's going to put a new tab in there. In fact, let me do that real quick just to show you. So if I say create new again and I tell it to export, I say yes, and it's gonna open up a new tab. So see, it created new sheets, and it already knew these two were there. So it created a new one with today's date, in case you wanted to update something and keep track of it. So I'm just gonna delete those two, so we don't need those today. Okay, so I can edit things in here. So here's my sump depth. Let's try it over here. Let's give this a 0.1. Let's give this a 0.1. And I'll say save. And I'll close that. And you see this didn't change right here because we only did it in the Excel sheet. So I'm going to say okay, and then I'm going to let this close out. And then we're going to bring in that spreadsheet. So let me come up here and let's take a look at that. Let's look at 102 just to be sure here. So I don't think, did I lose 103 again? I did. That's okay. Okay, where did my cursor go? Okay, we're back. And we're back. Okay, let's take a look at that real quick just to make sure that sump, okay, right there, still at 0. So we'll open up Pipe Planner again and the import spreadsheet. And here, the path is right there. Again, nothing different from the other interface we had there. So we'll go get the sheet, and we did this one. Open that. And now it says, which do we want to include? Let's just do the structures right now, and you see what you're going to get right here. So you see right here, these were changed. So they're going to come in green, and it says down here, if the handle didn't match, we would say part not found. So these are going to be updated. So let's import that. It says okay. And let's open up Pipe Planner again. And you see they've changed right here. Okay, so that's in a nutshell the basics of how this works. And I don't know about you, but in the past I've had to create staking reports from Civil 3D directly using reports, and it's pretty clumsy. Here we can do a staking just for structures, and I'll load this one in here because I've done this ahead of time. And we can put all of them in there and create a staking sheet real quick. So we're going to have the name, the description, northing, easting, sump, rim, station, and offset. And then we can save it out as a CSV to be exported to the field. We don't need the existing ones because they're already there. So let's pick those and push those over. So here's what we've got right here. So we've got some got missed somehow. That must have not been to the top. So let's grab the rest of them. Kick those over. So here we've got everything populated right there for our staking sheet report. Everything you would need probably in the field for the guys to go put that in the ground. So let's come here. I did this earlier to make sure it worked. And I did one just for catch basins. This is going to be everything. So let's just call it demo storm stake. And just so I don't get confused later on. Today's date. And I didn't say to make it, did I? So it doesn't know it's there. Hang on. Let's do it again. Okay. Okay, so let's kick that over. Oops. There. I want to create new. Oh, and I should say this is where if you wanted it to start in a different place in the Excel. So let me go ahead and export that. So that follows the same Excel. So A1, B1, and so on. If you wanted to start over here, just enter that number right in there. So I've got structures, that's how we're staking. It creates that by default. So I'm going to delete that. I will also delete sheet 1 because we don't need it. And then you can go ahead and edit these however you see fit with the point number, name, and so on. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and open up one I've already made. Oh, I think I put it in here. Okay, here it is. So the one I made earlier today was what's the difference between those two? I don't know. That's, oh, the CSV. Okay. So I just opened up and I made this, changed some of these headers, like I was trying to point, the name, description, northern, easting, kind of made that look a little different. And then saved it out as a CSV so you can upload it into your data collectors. So that's just how easily you would, of course, want to take that off of there. I just left that for after I made it. So you'd want to get that out of there because that will work in your data collector. So we can just say there, and now it's ready to go to the guys in the field. Okay, let me see, what else do I want to show you guys? I think that's really about it. I think you see how it works. I didn't want to make this too long today. We're going to have other webinars on some of the other functions of the parts. I will just quickly show you up here the pipe designer, how that kind of works. So it works right in the drawing too, and you can pick in plan or profile to get these. So if I want to adjust a run, and I'm not going to spend really any time on this, I'm just going to show you. So it's picking, you see that highlighted up there as well. And we can do lots of different things with this one as far as the design goes. It's not going to design it for you, or I mean, create it for you. You have to already have the pipe network. But once you get it in there, you can do a lot of editing through here, apply the rules. Anything that you set up in your network can happen here. Okay, so that's really all I had to show you today. I'm not going to take up any more of your time. Hopefully you saw some things here today. If you have any questions, go ahead. Let's get back to PowerPoint. So Pipes, it's part of our CTC SIM project suite. We also have the manager suite. We just recently released version 23.7 in both. The 24.0 will be coming in a few weeks. And if you don't have it and you'd like to get it, you can contact your local reseller or go to our website, ctcsoftware.com. So that's all I had. If we have any questions, you can ask them now, and I'll stick around for a few minutes. Otherwise, thanks for joining us today, and hopefully we'll see you at our next webinar. Thanks again.